What are the altcoins that actually can make you a millionaire this cycle? That's the wrong question to ask. If you're asking this question in the first place, probably you're not going to make it. It's not about altcoins. It's not about peaks. It's about the process. It's about the system that you're using. There are different levels to crypto investing. If you would give any coin to a professional, he would most likely be able to make it. If you would give any coin to a retail player, he will be buying local tops, selling at a loss, re-entering, buying it at the final top, and just writing the whole thing down, believing that this thing is going to go up and surge further as well. Let's actually try to figure out what is this system and how you can apply this system in order to actually be able to pick proper things in this cycle, enter them at proper levels, and not perform mistakes that are pretty much taking money away from your future self. So your future self actually will be hating your current self, right? We also do have interesting updates in terms of the situation in the marketplace currently. We just saw this dip today and it's already recovering very nicely. It's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen moving forward as well. So let's dive in. Key issues within your process in crypto investing, top altcoins and top narratives to actually pick short-term and long-term most likely as well, because I don't like to trade things. I don't like to do things quick. I'd like to take my time, right? And the current situation in the marketplace. Are we going down? Was my Arbitrum call a total failure? Like this video if you appreciate daily content, subscribe to this channel if you would like to get more of this type of content moving forward, and let's start. We recently closed an important milestone for the channel, 10,000 subscribers. We did it in 3 months with daily uploads and market alpha. Thank you for staying with me till all this time. We are just starting. We are just at the beginning of the whole thing. So much alpha was shared already. So many 10x's, a couple of 100x calls already happened on this channel live. My goal is to make my subscribers rich in this market. I can promise you several things. You will not see me shilling bullshit. You will always get truthful information on the market here. I won't be hiding and I will be telling you about things as I see them. There is a lot of scam in this space. There are a lot of people with bad intentions. The first goal on the market is to protect your money and then to make some. We're definitely looking to make some in crypto and we are definitely ready to take on more risks as well. I am committed to provide you daily alpha, actually sharing the truth about this market and about the things that are happening on the marketplace as well. Thank you very much for being subscribed to this channel. Thank you very much for following this channel. We are moving forward stronger than we ever have been before. Thank you, my friend. We're seeing large dip on the marketplace. Before we start, I wanted to remind that I'm giving away $300 on a daily basis. In order to be eligible for giveaway, you need to be my referral on BitGet. You are actually able to get up to $30,000 sign-up bonus following my link. You don't have these conditions with a lot of channels out there. You need to complete the KYC and you need to deposit at least $100. Then you go into my Discord, you fill out the form and you are eligible for giveaways, and at the same time you are actually being added into my VIP channel with my calls where we're all printing money together because we are winning on this marketplace, right? Moving forward, we just had a crazy correction. Do I think we are going to go lower? No one knows. I personally don't think so. Despite that fact, this morning when Arbitrum was not doing very well, I actually added margin to all of my long positions. My liquidation price is around 1.22 at this stage. My thesis pretty much still stays the same. I don't think we would be going way lower because of the fact that there are millions of people sidelined and there are still very good prices for a bunch of tokens as well, like Arbitrum, for example. At the same time, the sentiment changes already. A lot of people are saying that they would be looking to buy lower and things like that. We're seeing a correction and the whole space kind of turning a bit bearish short term, right? I just don't see the opportunity for the guys that miss out already to be able to enter at lower prices. What is the reason to give them opportunity to enter at the lower prices? They would be used as exit liquidity. Their FOMO would be used as exit liquidity because they will eventually capitulate and enter somewhere higher, and then when most of the bears will finally capitulate, we would have our major correction. Very, very interesting things are happening currently because we kind of had Solana that was holding strong, but as I told you in the video yesterday, it pretty much corrected right away. AVAX is still staying strong. However, we have some things that are showing crazy numbers already. New all-time highs after yesterday dips. I'm talking specifically about Aptos. Just look at this token. Just look at this cup and handle. It's showing so crazy levels. It pretty much just showed new short-term all-time high in comparison to the price of the token during this surge. And it was not surging here like at all. And who you can ask is actually holding Aptos long position for 2+ months already. Wow, it's actually me. Initial size of this long is quite low. It was just at $15,000. I'm in profit for $12,000 at this stage. And I was opening it up with $5,000 and 3x leverage in the first place. So it's definitely the small one, but I think the more we will be going into the bull market, the better this loan would actually be doing. I already took most of my margin out of here. With margin trading, when your position actually in huge profit, you can take your initials out without influencing the original position, because if you're doing something like that in spot, you're obviously decreasing your position. With these things, you can just take your initials out without influence on the position. Very good, very nice. Interesting thing about Sui and Aptos is they are pretty much very similar projects. They have teams that were working closely. Facebook, I believe they're using the same development language, Move, and the whole setup of venture capitalists is pretty similar there. And if you know venture capitalists, you know that the best thing that they like to do on this market is pump and dump projects within the most bullish narratives of crypto cycles, layer ones, alternatives to Ethereum, Ethereum killers, and things like that. The team of venture capitalists behind Aptos and Sui, they're pretty experienced in these type of activities. They were doing them before. That's why I'm actually participating in Aptos and Sui pump and dump, expecting for these tokens to do very well through the whole cycle, due to this type of behaviors actually being exercised by venture capitalists behind these two projects. And it's also very interesting that during the last couple of pumps on Sui, it actually started to pump way before the whole market, after corrections, after dumps, but it actually started to pump the first. Pretty smart from the market makers, because if everything else goes sideways and one thing is pumping, people will be putting money into this one thing. Therefore, it will have more fire and more fuel to continue pumping as well. It's quite interesting to see similar thing happening to Aptos currently as well. But Sui is also doing quite well. I have plus $20,000 from loan that I was opening at 1.22 level. Margin is already taken out as well because it's in huge profit. And similar thing here, I have $12,000 in profit as well. Margin already was being taken out due to the reason that we surged up nicely already. However, here I might be actually re-adding margin in case we would be going lower. I'm showing this one more time as a proof that my strategy with 3x leverage loans in the first place actually works. I was not liquidated on each and any of my positions, and I'm actually able to have more exposure into the market with the lower amount of capital in each specific token as well, which is very nice and quite safe at the same time, because my goal is not to lose money in the first place on this market, and only then pretty much make money as well. My Arbitrum longs are not doing very well currently. I have 3 positions open with $15,000 initial margin and 3x leverage, and right now each and every one of them is in about $8,000 to $9,000 negative profit. We already see Arbitrum start to recover. Yesterday I was sharing calls in my private Discord on longing Arbitrum from that levels actually, And I do think that still at this stage we have a very nice entry for Arbitrum loan, conservative one, because we always can go lower, and if we would be going lower, I think it would be a very wise thing to re-enter loans or add into the loans at that levels as well. Something conservative, something long-term, Arbitrum will definitely be do very well. Market maker Wintermute is not buying out chunks, crazy chunks of Arbitrum just for no reason, right? You might ask, Stan, but why do you loan a bunch of layer 1s and layer 2s? Well, the main reason for that is because this is actually a winning narrative in the previous cycles and in this cycle most likely as well. We already have case with Solana, which pretty much recently surged up like crazy, and I believe we would be seeing same things with winning layer 1s and layer 2s on Ethereum, because currently layer 2s on Ethereum, they're kind of like your layer 1s in connection to Ethereum, which is a very interesting thing in the first place as well, because they can use the narrative of Ethereum, they will be benefiting from Ethereum surging up. At the same time, they have all the capital, all the users from Ethereum, which is very bullish from this point of view. But in order for us to actually figure out the response to the question, what are the top altcoins to actually make you a millionaire this cycle, we need to see, we need to analyze what are the altcoins that are performing very well right now. There is a specific reason why I actually started to talk about Aptos and Sui and other things as well, because these are the projects that are recovering the best. They are showing that they are strong projects in the first place, which is always very nice. That usually means that holders, they don't want to sell much, and other players on the marketplace, they understand that they are underexposed to these assets. And the reason they understand they are underexposed to these assets is because they understand that these assets are actually good ones. That's why they're buying them on the dip and they are adding into them on the dip. You have to have conviction in the things you're buying and in the things you hold, because you might be selling your Sui, you might be selling your Arbitrum, and people who are probably smarter in the market, that have more experience in the market, they're buying them out from you. And you need to have conviction in the first place in order to actually hold these things as well and to be able to do that. Let's actually check out what are the things that surging up the most. We do have Pepe, very nice. All of my Memecoin strategy is actually around Pepe. With Pepe reaching 100 billion in market cap, man, I have so many tokens. I have so many meme tokens specifically connected to Pepe, which would be doing at least 1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion in market cap. It would be enough. It would be enough for me. I would be very happy at that stage. We obviously have Dog we've had as kind of the main competitor on Pepe, but Pepe is surging better currently. Very important to see and understand as well. Maybe the reason for that is because focus is actually already shifting a bit from Solana at this stage, because it pumped very nicely, 90 billion market cap. I do believe it might go sideways for some time, and liquidity from Solana would be flowing into other things like Alex. And people that are definitely understanding and front-running Ethereum ETF narrative. Now, this is something very important that I wanted to share as well, that there are people saying that we will not be getting our Ethereum ETF. There are people saying that we will be getting Ethereum ETF. The important point here is that I don't care. I do understand that Ethereum ETF as a topic will be taking a lot of mind share of the market. And these are the things that will happen with Solana as well. In the summer, everyone was screaming that Solana was dead, but still they were talking about the token. And mind share was not proportional to the actual price of the token, because if a lot of people are actually talking about something, it will probably be appreciating in price over time as well. And right now, still, a lot of people are talking about Ethereum. They're saying Ethereum is dead, transactions are very expensive, Solana is better, it's faster and cheaper, things like that. We will not be getting, or we will be getting our Ethereum ETF. Don't care. Mind share is what important for me. If I see that people are still talking about this thing, if it's still in the focus, I do understand that most likely it will actually appreciate in value. And I'm piggybacking like a degen this Ethereum narrative, because Ethereum doing well means Pepe doing well, means Bobo doing well, means Snibu doing well. I'm at the end of the food chain with the tokens that I'm actually in. At the same time, I do understand that the smaller this thing is, the larger it will be pumping when this thing will surge up as well. 50% on Ethereum will mean couple X's on Pepe, will mean several X's on Bobo, and potentially tens of X's on Snibu as well. I actually tend to appreciate my strategy more and more because strategy that I'm following with buying blue chip meme coins in layer 1s and layer 2s and blockchains that I think will be doing well, I'm ultimately solving exit liquidity issue because meme coins are something that is providing you with a bunch of exit liquidity. Meme coins are pretty much solving exit liquidity issue for you because people who would be coming later in the cycle, they will definitely be buying into meme coins because that will be the only thing that they would be understanding, and it's also something very, very easy to grasp in the first place. I'm obviously only talking about meme coins that have longevity, not your Solana new tokens that you can create 15 of in 15 minutes, right? I do think that blue chip Solana meme tokens might be doing well, but my bet is still on ETH, on AVAX, on Tone, on Ethereum layer 2s as well. From the point of view of meme tokens that I can actually invest my money into, invest, not trade, and sit and wait comfortably for this thesis to play out, for my exit liquidity to eventually come. Things like Beam surging up as well, pretty interesting because Beam actually has its subnet implemented on AVAX. So it might be, it's kind of Beam, it's like this beta play for AVAX and Ethereum at the same time, which is very, very interesting because original Beam token is actually on Ethereum. Jupiter and PETH Solana beta plays definitely makes sense because liquidity from Solana is coming to Solana ecosystem in the first place, and only after that it would be living somewhere else, most likely AVAX. We do have Stacks surging up as well. Very, very interesting to see that because of the reason that Stacks usually is going up along with Bitcoin. I do have Welsh, I do have Arcadico, I definitely have certain exposure to the Stacks ecosystem, and as mentioned, I think Stacks is winning token for this cycle. My thesis stayed the same. If you want to outperform every person on this market, buy Pepe, Arbitrum, Sui, and Stacks. You don't need anything else. Forget this channel, forget this video, delete YouTube, delete Twitter, break your phone, go do things that you want to do. Just return back in 1 year, sell everything, you will be do better than 99% of the market. Very interesting picture if you would actually check out 24 hours. Stacks, Phantom, Celestia, Aptos, Pepe, Toncoin, Sui, Starknet. Man, it's so exciting, it's so funny about Starknet. Do you know why actually this candle was printed? Do you know what is the reason? Maybe new update, maybe new team member, maybe new partnership, right? No. The reason for this candle to be printed is because Russian-speaking influencer who is close with criminals and with a bunch of guys in crypto, Russian-speaking guys, and most of the Russian-speaking guys in crypto, they're usually connected to criminals, right? He basically just publicly said that he allocated 9 to 10% of his portfolio into Starknet. And this green candle was printed right away with his followers jumping into Starknet as well. This is who is moving markets. He pretty much just adds 200 million in market cap for the token on the correction after doing one post. Man, that's so crazy. That's so, I hope my following at a certain point of time would be able to do the same. In order for us to figure out what are the altcoins that we actually need to buy to win and outperform on this market, we do have to understand winning narratives as well. Layer 1s and memes are most performing narratives of previous cycle, and they will be most performing narratives of this cycle as well. Layer 1s, infrastructure plays, Ethereum killers. You need to understand that there are billions and trillions and billions and billions and billions of dollars invested into layer 1s already, into marketing of layer 1s already. At the same time, these are the projects that received the largest amount of funding from venture capitalists. Therefore, they will be planning to pump and dump them the most. And you need to understand with all these layer 1s that in order to dump them, in order to dump $500 million invested, for example, they need to pump them in the first place. And they will be pumping them very, very nicely. And we did not see anything at this stage. With Sui at $1.6, with Arbitrum at 1.5, 1.4, we did not see anything yet. They need way more liquidity to dump these layer 1s eventually, right? And meme coins, something very, very straightforward, something very, very interesting. We do have to understand that everything in this space is vaporware, zero utility. It does zero positive change to the world. It just serves the pure goal to make venture capitalists rich and founders of the projects and insiders and influencers rich as well, taking diapers money from single moms struggling to actually meet their ends. This is the only reason for this space to exist in the first place, nothing else. I'm specifically talking about crypto because I do love blockchain technology. I love it with all my heart, but I doubt I would be loving it this much if we were not, if we won't have this speculative market that I like as well. And experienced players, they understand this thesis, they're going into meme coins. We do have institutions trading meme coins this cycle as well, and obviously retail. One of the main reasons meme coins are pumping is because they're very, very easy to understand for retail and buy in. Now, there is also a very, very interesting thesis that essentially last cycle, when someone was asking people on the streets what type of crypto they hold or do they know something about crypto, they would just respond in Dogecoin and Shiba. And there is also a thesis that people will not be buying pepe because pepe is on Ethereum and no one is going to pay $100 in transactions. Let me ask you a question. Who is buying pepe on chain? What retail is actually going to sign up to MetaMask wallet, sign up on the exchange, buy Ethereum, transfer Ethereum to MetaMask wallet, and then buy pepe on chain using contract from DEX tools or from Uniswap, figuring out how the DEX work at the same time? You can already buy pepe in the largest financial applications, at least in Europe. They are accessible in things like Revolut, they are accessible in things like Robinhood. I'm confident 100% that pepe would also be present on Coinbase as well, because Crypto.com is already winning Coinbase in users because of the fact Crypto.com in the US actually have pepe and WIF, and Coinbase does not have them, which is very, very interesting. What retail players are actually going to buy pepe on chain? No one. Zero. Exactly the same as people were not buying Dogecoin last cycle somehow on chain. It's pretty much a separate blockchain, so you need to bridge something to Dogecoin, right? No one was buying SHIB on chain. No one was actually transferring Ethereum, and SHIB was largest meme coin in the last cycle, and it's actually also on Ethereum. So how can someone be saying that SHIB was largest meme coin of the last cycle, and yet this cycle no one is going to buy memes on Ethereum, and SHIB was on Ethereum last cycle? Obviously, all the retail people, they were buying it on chain. No one is buying it on chain. People are buying pepe from centralized exchanges, and they will continue to do so as well. Therefore, I think the thesis that Ethereum meme coins won't be doing well because we have Solana meme coins, I don't think it makes sense, specifically in connection to meme coins investing. Because obviously, if you're trading meme coins, you would probably be doing it better on Solana. But if you want to buy and hold, if you want to buy into something because you believe it's going to go larger, go higher and things like that, there are no issues like this on Ethereum as well. And as mentioned in the previous videos, I do like when things are dead. I do like when the general narrative is that it's not going to go well, we will have these issues, the high transactions and things like that. This means that there is some fuel in the asset, inside the narrative, to probably go higher, despite all these transactions, despite all the transaction fees and things like that as well. Top retail narratives: AI, meme coins, gaming, meme coins number 2. The main reason I'm saying that is because most of AI projects are vaporware at this stage, and in terms of the most of the gaming stuff, well, it's pretty exciting if you would actually be able to own the assets yourself. And it's like it's my dream from the time when I was a child, just be able to play games and actually make yourself a living through that. But let me actually ask you a question. What type of economy you actually need to install inside the game to make sure it's all not going to go to zero once the bull market ends? It would pretty much mean that game should have a separate economy. And imagine all the publishers, all the people developing games, giving away their main source of revenue, one of the main sources of revenue, on selling some skins, selling some in-game items, and actually making them decentralized. The only way it can make sense if the percentage they would be making from the volumes of the transactions of these items would be generating more revenue than just them selling these items right away. At the same time, I only see that the game economy based on crypto, based on tokenomics, can only be alive if a percentage of revenue generated will be shared within the tokenomics of the token as well. We need to have publishers and game developers be willing to give away a portion of the revenue to actually base the tokenomics on something that works in real world, on something that is actually generating revenue. Let's actually see what will be happening with these things. Still, I do see gaming narrative as a very, very attractive one for the retail. They will be definitely coming in and they will be definitely throwing the money into gaming as well. Exactly as it happened at the end of previous cycle, because so many people are actually playing games. At the end of the last cycle, I was buying NFT characters in 310 Arena mobile game for $700 a piece. I spent $8,000 on these NFT characters. This is something also very, very interesting, because people in crypto gaming, they will be definitely willing to spend way more money to acquire certain assets, just because they will have this mind frame installed that it's not a spend, it's actually an investment. They would be able to resell it to someone else, right? That's why they can actually be spending $8,000 on characters in Titan Arena that worth $40 at this stage. Very, very nice. Last but not least, we do have narrative of ordinals. I would basically just combine the whole thing, Bitcoin layer 2, stacks ecosystem as well, ordinals, everything in one piece. And the main reason for that is because it's definitely a very, very huge and interesting narrative, but I do think still that stacks will most likely be the winner of this thing, but we might actually see some craziness happening in upcoming months with the launch of runes ecosystem, because it should definitely make things way faster and way cheaper on Bitcoin as well. If we would have our meme season on Bitcoin with runes, man, just going to be crazy. Tap protocol release as well. Let's see if these innovations would actually be able to form this narrative as a good and separate and outperforming one as well. Now, speaking of our tokens, I do believe that we should just pick our tokens based on these narratives. I already told you at the start of the video that if you would be buying Pepe, Arbitrum, Sui, and stacks, and forgetting about crypto for a year, deleting YouTube, you would be outperforming 99% of people on this marketplace. Even from these levels, Sui, Arbitrum is even better to buy from these levels. Pepe is also on a nice correction right now as well. Let's move back to our list and our tokens that I think would be doing quite well. Ultimate bull run, Pepe, Arbitrum, Sui, and stacks. Don't need anything else, delete YouTube, just buy them and forget about crypto for a year. Layer 1s, Sui, short term would be doing well, long term as well. Stacks, short term is already doing well, will be doing even better. Arbitrum as well, Ethereum layer 2, largest TVL, cheap transactions, very, very nice. Layer 3 solutions like Zai already implemented on Arbitrum. AVAX, short term gaming bet, I do like as well, and I think long term it might be doing quite well as well. Upside might be limited on AVAX because market cap is I think already at $20 billion, something like that. But in terms of some better plays on AVAX, they definitely will be doing very, very well. I have Wolf on AVAX and I think it will be doing very, very well. And I also have a gaming project on AVAX. Memes, Pepe, obviously top meme for this cycle. People out of crypto are sending me memes with pepe. Do you understand? Like my gym coach is sending me, he basically sent me 2 memes of pepe today. Man, this meme just going to be crazy. Well, this is something because Solana bros are kind of pushing this thing and it's retail friendly. I don't believe much into this thing. I don't hold any WIF myself, but we do have to understand that retail is different from us. Retail was not watching 2 girls 1 cup on 12's birthday, right? They were probably just laughing with the girlfriends and I don't know, like doing some default stuff and maybe appreciating the picture of appreciating pictures of dogs, right? The same thing they will be doing with WIF currently at this stage. In my case, WIF, I don't believe much. Bobo ultimate better play for pepe should be doing very, very well because narrative for this thing, I know it's 50% correction, things like. I actually wanted to show you something on bobo as well, because in yesterday's video I told you that it's a very interesting mind frame that memes on Sui, they kind of, they're viewed as something as, as something like Sui is not very, very friendly for memes, right? And interesting thing that we have a top meme which is Fad the Pug on Sui. Market cap is quite large at this stage, so it's pretty much just appeared in December following CoinGecko, right? And in February it was at the lows 0013, and since February it pretty much had done 4x. Sui was just going sideways through all this time. I do believe this is a blue chip meme on Sui. It's at 50 million market cap. Maybe once my loans will be doing better and I would see that this meme is lagging, maybe I will reposition some of my profits into this meme from Sui. Right now I will be holding Sui, but it's your best meme play on Sui from my point of view because it was at the dip already, not that large, just 4x down, so around 75%, right? 4x it did recently already. And interesting thing with this meme is that it did not see a severe correction. Pretty much went from 55 to 38. If you would actually calculate, it's around 30%. And boba corrected like how much? 50, 60%? Very, very interesting. The main, what this actually tells you is that community might be better. And at the same time, I think a lot of retail, they actually bought into boba. That's why they started to sell like crazy after they bought as well. And with this thing, I think there might be just large amount of whales that expect for this thing to go up. I'm showing you this meme. I want to get into it myself and I don't even want to show it, but I do think that this thing might be doing very, very well. Fad the Pug on Sui. Very, very nice piece of meme on largest chain as well. And long term 50 million. Yeah, it's very low. I'm thinking on buying some myself currently. Maybe just throw like $20,000-$30,000 into there. Well, yeah, this entry in February, it was so great. 4x down, generational entry. If you're holding this thing with nice volume at this stage, with nice amount of tokens and nice amount of money, I think you would be doing very, very well moving forward as well. Top retail narratives, render, something is that's probably going to pushed by like Nvidia conference. It's actually today, so it might be a top for render and it might be for top for all the AI tokens, so be very, very careful. We have NQAI, just a bit from my end because decentralized chat GPT on blockchain is very, very bullish, and once this narrative will be picked up by larger audiences, it might be doing very, very well, and if they would actually have a working product as well. GMRX is essentially a token for gaming, and gaming is pretty much a gaming company, and they also have this DP decentralized solution connected with GPUs and things like that, and it actually has real users. In comparison to Render, they just have like 2,000, 3,000 active users a month. It's just a giant bubble, just a giant bubble, as most of this space is, right? Ordinals, I'm sorry, we should see here gaming. Robit, I think, will be doing very, very well as this gamified gaming play, and It was on the nice correction. It's still, I think, on the nice correction, but I kind of have a feeling that it should start to surge up as well. One of the small amount of crypto companies with actual large revenue. Heroes of Mavia should be doing well. Concept that everyone likes and knows. The only issue I have is that it's definitely a VC pump and dump as well, although the game is quite good in the first place and the work of the team is quite great as well. The issue that I have, it might be something in connection with the tokenomics, with the fact how easy for people actually to be making money there. Because this play to earn that will be making money for people, it will just surge up like crazy as Axis Infinity in the last cycle, but at the same time, if it would be making money for retail, it's probably going to be a Ponzi scheme. The more money it's going to make, the larger the chance it's actually a Ponzi scheme, right? And BEAM is something I do like as well. It's definitely has a large market cap at this stage, but it's just safe pick, safe bet, moving forward into this market as well. It surged quite nicely, quite recently as well, but I do definitely think it has some fuel moving forward as well. Let's actually see how BEAM is behaving on the correction. 0.03 from 0.42. So if we divide 3 by 4.2, 30%, nice. We definitely had some things dipping lower than 30%, but 30% is kind of average on the marketplace. BEAM can actually be a better play for Ethereum as well, because it's interesting that it started to surge with Ethereum starting to surge as well. So it's definitely might be your gaming better play if you believe that Ethereum will be doing well this cycle. BTC Layer 2s, buy stacks and forget about the market. TAP protocol that is releasing quite soon, not released yet, but some people are saying that actually if you would once you would have TAP released, you might not need any Bitcoin Layer 2s, which is very interesting, because if we are capable of doing things on layer 1, it's definitely more interesting and more feasible than pretty much have to use some layer 2s, most of which don't achieve transactions finality on Bitcoin, most of which are just copycats of Ethereum layer 2s developed with Polygon CDK or Cosmos SDK that have nothing to do with Bitcoin in the first place. They just work as a bridge. They provide you with the copy of the assets on their chain, saying it's Bitcoin layer 2. They don't provide transactions finality on Bitcoin at all, and you're basically just using copy of your assets on their chains through a bridge. Very nice. Layer 2, very nice technology, right? Track is something that is being deepened recently. I do think that we are at the edge of ordinal season again, and I do think it should be started with the launch of runes and maybe sometime before, because markets are usually front running things. They're definitely forward looking. Therefore, I think quite soon market can actually start to price in the launch of runes, launch of TAP protocol, and I do think that soon we should start seeing some things happening within ordinals and all this narrative as well, and things that are connected with stacks. They're definitely showing these things starting to move. Low inscription ordinal NFT. So this is something that you would want to get by yourself to sell it to Bitcoin whale at the end of the cycle, because he will be making so much money on Bitcoin that he will want to kind of show to other people how crazy good he is, and he would want to buy a picture of the frog, or picture of the market, or picture of the monkey, or picture of the goose, or picture of other animals, maybe a picture of the cat in Bitcoin ordinal ecosystem. Search for yourself what is low inscription ordinal NFT. Usually older collections, most of them, they would have low inscription numbers on their NFTs. 65k on Bitcoin already. Nice dip. Let's see what's going to happen next. Man, if I would just take my $15,000 and instead of adding them as margin into my loans, if I would just open additional loan from that levels on Arbitrum, I would be so happy now. But I decided to play it safe. It's always nice to play it safe as well. Well, this is it. This is my update on the market. Thank you very much for 10,000 subscribers at this stage. We continue to move forward. Very interesting things are awaiting us during this year on this market as well. If we would just go straight up from here, like to 75 to 80k, well, it's just going to be so crazy. But the issue that I have with this correction is because it's too obvious. things should be not happening like this on the market. So many people were saying about us having this correction, things like that. And that's why I'm thinking that most likely it should not be a large one. Most likely we should not be going deeper. Just because of the reason it was so obvious correction in the first place. And you need to understand what the correction is. If you are going to $55,000 for BTC, if you are going to $50,000 for BTC, if we are going to see arbitrum at $1.2, at $1, this would mean that there are no people in the whole world, zero, that want to buy Bitcoin at $50,000 and $1. There are no people that would want to buy arbitrum at $1.21. I don't think that we are at this situation right now. I do think that people might be underpricing Bitcoin ETF event, and maybe experience from previous cycle actually fucks with them from time to time, and also a bit of the PTSD from the bear market. But no one knows, maybe I'm wrong, maybe tomorrow I will be starting this video and hey guys, we had 55k, most of my loans got liquidated, I'm a Memecoin trader now, and I'm just going to hold my Memecoins and nothing else because I lost all of my positions on layer 1s because all of them got liquidated. Well, I don't believe into these things in general, but let's see what the future brings, right? My friend, thank you again for watching this video. Thank you again for being a subscriber. We are moving forward. We are making money in this market. So we do have 204 people that are registered and filled out the form. First winner is number 32. 32 is actually 2, you know, squared. If you square a number, you see 2 in 2, and 32 is 2 in 5. I just don't know how to say it in English properly. 32, almost our guy, just one first time, right? Just 1 point missed. 187, simple number. I'm quite sure on that. Here, whoop, nice. 37, yeah, I do think it's also a simple number. Well, these are our winners. Guys who just won $100 each. You would be able to DCA in on this correction. But I would suggest just enter pepe loan with 100x leverage and see what's going to happen, right? I'm obviously making fun. These are just jokes. Thank you again for watching this video. Let's see what the future brings. Interesting market, interesting situation. Man, I just should have DCA'd bobo when it was 7k, or when it was $1 million. Alright, see you tomorrow. Bye bye.